Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a Network 216 production of the Faithful Dogs podcast. I am Tyler Johnson, joined by Zach DeFranco, Jack Robinson. Gentlemen, how is your Wednesday night treating you this evening?
Better than Monday. How about you guys?
Yeah, I think anything is better than Monday.
Honestly, I just want to sleep. That's
Yeah.
really it. That's really it. I ate a good meal for dinner, and now I'm just full and just want to sleep. So
Ansley did make some amazing chicken parmesan for dinner, so I cannot complain about that. Feel good.
See, food is always going to make someone smile. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Before we get into tonight's episode, guys, just as a reminder, be sure to drop a like on tonight's video. Help that YouTube algorithm grow for Network 216, but also subscribe to the channel if you're brand new to the network. We're trying to reach now 3,000 subscribers. That's our next goal. We're over 2,000, and thank you guys for that. But also, we are proud to now be on Lockerverse. You guys want to make sure you check that out. The link is going to be in the description, but also it is in the chat as well. Just click that link. The app is completely free to download. Be sure to watch the show on Lockerverse, but also tune in to Quarterback Takeover with Deshaun Watson and Quincy Avery. That is every week. So you guys want to make sure that you take advantage of that. Gentlemen, let's just get it over with. But before we before we talk about that, we do have a piece of news that we probably should talk about first, just because it could be easy to forget. The Browns have re-signed running back Kareem Hunt. It's a 1-year deal up to $4 million in incentives. So I'm going to assume it's around the veteran minimum, anywhere from the veteran minimum to $2 million for 1 year, with incentives that can rise it. So first off, what are your thoughts about having Kareem Hunt back? What do you see his role being? Is this the route you would have gone in wake of the injury Monday night, or would you have gone a different route?
I personally, I like it. I mean, the comfortability with the scheme already, he can kind of just plug and play with Kareem Hunt. In terms of role, I think eventually his role is going to be a lot bigger than what some people expect. But I think right now, I mean, he's a good pass pro running back. He can be a good red zone target, third down back right now. And I'm going to take Stefanski's word as it is. Jerome Ford moving forward is running back one. I think they truly believe that and see that in Jerome Ford. But this also takes a lot of pressure off of Pierre Strong and Jerome Ford to just kind of handle the workload in the running game. And Kareem Hunt coming in, I think, is huge for the offense in terms of now you got a running back out of the backfield that can, also play wide receiver. Like I said, comfortable with the scheme. I like it a lot. I think there were a lot of other routes you could have won as well. Cam Akers, I feel like could have been another possibility. Moves like that, but I think Kareem Hunt was the safe and smart play to go right now.
Yeah, I think out of all the options, it was probably just the easiest option for them to choose, because I mean, again, he knows the system, he knows the guys here. They have experience with him, and obviously he looks a lot better than earlier this year. He's apparently down 10 pounds. They liked him in the workout they had. I think it was it today or yesterday? I think it was yesterday. I think that you really can't go wrong bringing in a guy like Kareem, considering that obviously they're very comfortable with Jerome being like that RB1, but third down or as a receiving running back, I think that Kareem is a great option for them, and I think he does add another wrinkle to have if you're on a third down. You can have a guy like Elijah, you can have a guy like Kareem out of the backfield that can receive. So I think that it's a great move, and I think that everyone's happy to have him back in Cleveland.
Also, hello, Crystal. Thank you for joining us. MC Lawrence, everyone that's joined us tonight, thank you. Also, a correction on my part on Lockerverse. It is called Quarterback Unplugged with Deshaun Watson and Quincy Avery. So apologize for mispronouncing that. I'll get better at it. I'll get used to it. So yeah, apologize for that. I'm not against bringing Kareem Hunt back. I think for me, there were just other options I would have preferred. But like you said, Jack, it's the easy option. I mean, it really is. He already loves the city. He already loves being a Cleveland Brown. He's been here. He knows Kevin Stefanski. He knows his teammates. It does make the most sense. There are just other routes I would have gone. potential of Cam Akers, as young as he still is, the Vikings gave up nothing to get him.
Mm-hmm.
Liked it. I also was huge. I was driving the Leonard Fournette train. I think that would have made a ton of sense too. But at the end of the day, you're bringing back someone that you're familiar with. He's good. He's good in the locker room. It makes a lot of sense. So I get it. Again, the route I would have gone, but definitely can't complain from that. So what
it makes you wonder though. I mean,
mm-hmm.
he definitely had other offers, and I wouldn't assume
what were they? That's the question.
I wouldn't
how
assume,
much money?
Do you think the Browns were desperate in what they offered him in their own terms? Because I don't think he took a big pay here. You know, do you think he wanted to be the lead back somewhere else, but would come here and play with Chubb? Like, I don't know, man. It's confusing because
I get the impression, Zach, he wanted to be a lead back because the Indianapolis one, the fact he didn't sign there and then he states it's money, I just don't know if I buy that because he would have started and been the feature back in Indianapolis because more than likely, I still don't know if Jonathan Taylor's ever going to play a snap for them again. So he would have been the guy there. I mean, I don't know. And that one's interesting. And then New Orleans, because I know he went to New Orleans for a visit. I don't know if we'll ever know. That's what – so I've been on the record, and I'm sure you guys have seen it. I said there's no way he was coming back. I mean, for a while. Clearly, they cleared the air. They had a conversation because both sides were not happy with how Kareem acted last year and his behavior. And Kareem was not happy the Browns did not offer him a good contract. So clearly they met in the middle. You get to join, you get to come back, help the Browns with Nick going down. I think that's kind of what happened.
It's your hometown team. You're literally born and raised here. He brags about that. I think he truly wanted to be in Cleveland. Like you said, Tyler, it was just a disagreement on terms of the contract here. I think he thought like, hey, I deserve to get, a decent chunk to be, that 1A, 1B role with Chubb. The Browns just didn't want to do it. 2 running backs on that kind of, payroll, you just don't do that. And obviously, unfortunately, with what happened to Chubb, which we're going to get into, it's terrible. I mean, you couldn't set it up better for Kareem Hunt, who loved Nick Chubb so much, considers him a brother, to come in and take over now, and kind of finish the job.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And so, we're going to move on. I want to make sure I covered that just because, I mean, when talking about games, it can be easy to just gloss over that. But anyway, there was a game on Monday night. Believe it or not, there was. For those of you that tuned into the Pro Sports Fans live stream that I had just the honor of hosting on Monday, that was brutal having to cover that game live. But the Browns did lose 22-26 in Pittsburgh. Once again, Steelers have won 21 straight Monday Night Football games. First off, guys, what are your takeaways from this game? It's brutal having to talk about this because, I mean, just talk about an ultimate train wreck. Every single time the Browns go to Pittsburgh, they just self-implode.
And that's it. They self-imploded. It was literally, oh man, I don't even know how to say it. We literally had the game won with 7 minutes left, and all we had to do was not shoot ourselves in the foot. And it just seemed like the offense couldn't click. Their offense literally had no red zone plays, 0, and they won the football game. If you would have looked at the box score, either of you guys, if you look at the box score without knowing who won the game, like what? How, dude? That was probably one of the sloppiest football games I've ever watched. One of the toughest football games I had to watch as a Browns fan because of what we know happened. And it just left you with so many question marks leading into the rest of the year. It really does. And stuff that really needs to be fixed and solved ASAP before the bye week.
Yeah, I mean, this game was, in my opinion, a total indictment on the offense. Because, I mean, if we're looking at this objectively, the defense only gave up, I would say, 9 points. Because if we're talking about special teams errors, we're talking about offensive errors, you can attribute 14 of those points to the defense or to the offense and to special teams.
Yeah.
it's just not good. It's not a good look. It's not. It's really pretty pathetic considering that all of last year we were slamming the table and begging for just an average defense. Like, oh, if we have an average defense, we would have been 4-1 in the first 5 games. And I mean, I think that everyone knows that that an average defense probably gets you very, very close to getting to the playoffs. And now we're almost, oddly enough, in the opposite situation where the defense is so good. The defense gives you such a wide margin of error that the offense doesn't need to be incredibly explosive. It doesn't need to score 30, 35, 40 points a game. But now the offense is just so inconsistent, and the offensive line is suspect, and the decision-making of the quarterback is suspect, and the play calling is inconsistent. It's just that now all these issues are on the offensive side, and it's really making you wonder just what exactly is the problem with the offense, because could you guys I could argue that that if we had last year's Jacoby Brissett in this offense, just in terms of the way he played, we would have won this game. I mean, can you guys argue that that's
tough?
Incorrect?
That's tough to me because of what happened to Nick Chubb as well.
Does
Jacoby Brissett lead you to victory? Because you're not going to
Jacoby Brissett make the mistakes that lead to losing.
Is
Jacoby
Brissett left tackle? That's all I'm saying. He's not.
Jack, I'll also say this: it doesn't seem to matter who plays quarterback. Doesn't seem to matter who's head coach. When we go to Pittsburgh, we just ultimately just piss down our leg. I honestly don't know. I can't say if Jacoby Brissett was quarterback if we'd win that game, because at the end of the day, every single time the Browns go to Pittsburgh, we lose and get embarrassed and put a performance out there that sets a historical record some way or another, in a bad way. And that's my thing.
But the thing is that the Browns could have kneeled down for the last 7 minutes of the game and won the game. They could have kneeled down. They could have literally just taken a knee and punted for the last 7 minutes of the game, and we would have won, because the defense is that good and the offense of Pittsburgh is that bad. It's just, I'm just saying, the way that it currently set up.
So what am I saying?
Deshaun can make mistakes. He holds the ball too long. These are things that we're going to talk about. What exactly is wrong with Deshaun right now? What exactly is wrong with the offense? Because it just seems like there's no flow, no consistency, because the defense is so good. We need consistent offense, and we just aren't getting it.
Luxury cardboard. The Browns are cursed to win in Pittsburgh. They can't win in Pittsburgh. I said it. We
did in the
cannot.
wild card.
We did, but I also would keep in mind that there were 100 fans there. Whole different scenario. But anyway,
yeah, I get that. It was COVID year, but still, it was a win in Pittsburgh in a playoff game.
It was. I don't take the playoff game away, but I'm saying right now, when we go to Pittsburgh in the regular season, we cannot win. Doesn't matter what the circumstances are. Doesn't matter who's the more talented team. We cannot win when we go to Pittsburgh. It has been that way our entire lives, and it sucks.
I just think there's a lot of deeper issues right now with the offense that need to just start clicking. I think there were a lot of mental errors, obviously, that happened. There's a lot of things that just went wrong that shouldn't have went wrong, that we thought in the offseason were fixed, that we were told looked great in training camp. I get it. It's a different environment. And, dude, Highsmith and Watt coming off the edge with 2 questionable. DeJuan Jones, I think he played a decent game in pass protection.
He played well.
But you guys, I try to say it all offseason. We have a big question mark at left tackle. We do. And it needs to start getting together now, because we literally don't know what we're going to do at left tackle after this season. We don't.
I wouldn't be confident with left tackle for the rest of the season. I don't think Jed Wilson.
Let me ask you a question. You guys are worried about left tackle. I am too. Valid. Everyone should be worried about left tackle. So what's the solution?
There is none this year, I don't think, unless you make a blockbuster trade. Unless you make a blockbuster trade. Yep. I know, but I'm not questioning this year. I'm saying after this season, we don't know what we're gonna do. But some people said we should have went after Peters and stuff. But I'm like, dude, I don't know, man. It's just tough to watch.
Dude, I said Jason Peters, and everyone looked at me like I was an idiot because I suggested signing a 41-year-old tackle. You know what he is? The dude's a former All-Pro. You know, like, I roll with him. I would. I absolutely would go with. There's no reason why he couldn't do a job. So
yeah, I tell you what the answer is not is to switch to Juan Jones and Jedrick Wills right now.
No.
That is
or
not
James Hudson, or put James Hudson in there.
I've seen a lot of things, guys. It's not that easy. It's not that simple. If it was, it would have already been done. Like it. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough.
I assume that's Jacob or Nick that's saying that.
Probably.
Clearly he's not ready. If they thought Leatherwood was good enough, I bet you he would play. I just have a feeling. So, okay. So that brings the elephant in the room here. Have to talk about it. Don't want to talk about it. Where are you guys at with Deshaun Watson? I've given my thoughts on this. I gave him today again. Where are you guys at?
I'm just not really sure because I don't understand really what the problem is, because when you watch him play, it's clear that his anticipation just isn't there. And I don't know if that's the issue with the plays aren't built around his strengths or if he's not taking advantage of the plays that Kevin is making him, because Monday really showed that when they tried to get plays designed to get guys in stride with a bunch of room in front of them to run to get yards after catch, they take too long to develop, and that the offensive line can't hold up. Now, obviously, that's against a really good defensive line in Pittsburgh, but at the same time, his footwork just doesn't look good. He's not hitting guys in stride. He just doesn't look like he has the anticipation. I mean, how many of his throws were to guys that weren't at like the end of their routes or going to the outside, going to the sideline? It didn't, I don't like, other than like check downs to like Njoku or to Jerome in the flat or something like that. It did seem like there was nothing over the middle. There was nothing to hit guys in stride for Yak. It was all sideline stuff. And I mean, I don't know if that's play calling. I don't know if that's issues with the offensive line. I don't know if there's so many issues. But like at the end of the day, it does kind of come down to Deshaun needs to execute in these situations.
All right, Zach, feel free, because then I got things to say. So if you let it rip.
Well, no, I mean, I'm not even gonna go crazy because I am gonna say right now it is week 2, okay? And I get it. We were told all this stuff in the offseason of how great the offense looked. It's clicking. Luckily, we have access to the All-22. Guys are open. Guys are very open. And I don't know what's going on. He looks like he just wants to tuck and run right now. I don't know if he doesn't trust his tackles. I think that's a big thing. I think it's a lack of trust in the offensive line right now. I mean, dude, he's gotten sacked more than Patrick Mahomes in the last 8 games. And he's played a fourth of those games. That does something to a QB's confidence. It really does. I'm not trying to make excuses, but I do think I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up just yet, and the team can't give up. You are married to this guy for 5 years. He is your quarterback right now. I think it. I still have hope as a Browns fan. I'm a homer, dude. I want it to click. I need to see it click, and I think we're gonna get into it this upcoming week against a bad secondary. Just have a good game, build some confidence, and go from that. I just don't want to say too much. I don't want to get into it.
Yeah, Zach, I'm not giving up on him either right away. Like, sorry, Tyler, I'm kind of ruining.
No, man, you're fine. You're fine. I'm probably gonna ramble, so feel free. Say as much as you want.
All that I'm saying is that a lot of the sacks, yes, I think you can attribute some of them to, obviously, you have questionable tackles. You're going up against a good defense, and I think if you want to look at it, like the one from Larry was Wyatt Teller getting beat. Larry Ogunjobi. There were obviously, you had a couple just, where guys got beat. But how many of them are also just Deshaun's holding the ball too long? He's not standing in the pocket. He's trying to scramble. He's tucking and running, and then he's getting sacked. It's not all just he's getting, blindsided by somebody who wasn't blocked correctly. It's sometimes he holds on to the ball too long, and his tackles can't hold on to a defensive lineman that long. They're going to give up a hold. They have to let him go. I think that a lot of it is just there's no quick game for him. And if there is a guy that's quick, he's not getting it to him on time when he's supposed to. So I understand. I'm not giving up on him, because you can't give up on him, but I am going to call it as I see it, that he is not making the right reads at the right game speed that he needs to help the offensive line by getting the ball out fast. And a lot of the sacks are not entirely on the offensive line. He does need to play better.
So I'm going to say something that a lot of people might disagree with, but I'm going to explain why I say this. You know, the Nick Chubb injury is absolutely awful. How that whole thing went down is awful, and I'm really hoping we get to see him put on a Cleveland Browns uniform again. That said, keep in mind with Deshaun Watson's career, everything has always evolved around him and his arm and his playmaking ability. He comes to Cleveland, that is not the case. It is Nick Chubb. This offense revolves around Nick Chubb. What you saw in Houston, Deshaun Watson operates out of the shotgun nearly every single time. There's no 2 tight ends. There's no 3 tight ends. There's none of that. You now have, they brought Kareem Hunt back. Okay. But now you brought Kareem Hunt back. Deshaun Watson, this team is now his. There is no safety blanket anymore. Nick Chubb is not going to be on that field this year. I think a lot of this is mental, 100%. I believe it is. I think you're going to see a guy that looks more comfortable because now it's all him. That sounds really weird. That might not make any sense at all. This is now all evolved and all on his shoulders. There's no safety blanket. There's no, we're handing it to Nick Chubb 20, 25 times a game. Because so far he's had a lot of carries. I mean, even in the Pittsburgh game, he had a lot of carries before he went down. It is now Deshaun Watson. And I think now when you're going to see a whole offense that is going to be out of the shotgun, except a few times where he will be under center, I think you will see a guy that's going to look more confident because he's going to have things spread out for him. He's a spread quarterback. He's not looked good so far. But also, look, the Browns have not been in shotgun nearly as much as we saw really in the preseason. Mm-hmm. So just something to keep in mind there. I'm not jump. I think what we do as fans is we overreact based off losses and based off poor performances, as we should, because we're very emotional. But I think we look at the rest of the season. There's plenty of time for him to turn around. And I've said many times, and you guys have heard it, he is going to be better after the bye week in the second half of the season than he is right now. He's played 8 games in 2 years, 8 football games in 2 years. And I think we all need to, as much as we don't want to, have to be a little patient and not expecting this guy to throw for 300 yards just on a whim. It'll come, but there does have to be patience from the fan base. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I think I understand what you're saying, right? Like, obviously, yeah, that it's 8 games and it's 2 years of being out of the league, and it's a new system. But at the same time, the thing is that we would be patient if the dilapidated offense didn't lead to losses in games where even average offense wins the game. Like in the Bengals game, the offense played average. They didn't play incredible, and the weather had a lot of impact in that. But, the defense was great, and the offense didn't make any bad mistakes to lose the game. And so, you win by 3 scores, and that's how it should be, is that if you're a good enough if you're a really good defense, you have a good enough offense that can get points on the board, and you don't, keep, and you stay on the field for a long time, you can win games that way. In this game, it was the defense played spectacular, but your offense spotted the other team 13 points. Like, you just can't win like that. And you can't play like that consistently and expect to win. And what we really needed was just to see that the offense was able to keep up and do what it needed to do to win games without like the asterisks of the weather messed up the offense of the other team or whatever. Now there was more question marks this week about the offense than there was last week. And that was a rainy game. Like, there needs to be a consistency here. And I think that's why everyone is questioning Deshaun, just because, again, he runs the offense. And if he doesn't look good, he's the first guy we're going to look at.
This needs to be addressed because, we had this same thing when we had a certain smaller quarterback here. It's not Stefanski. I 100% promise you. If you can buy all 22 in NFL Plus, go do it. It is not Kevin Stefanski that is the problem. I promise you. It's not. And if this goes sideways, he will be the one that is blamed and gone.
Mm-hmm.
But it is not
the fall guy.
It's not Stefanski. I've said it many times. You blame him when things are bad. You never give him credit when he does things well. Guys are open. And you know what? It's got to be executed. There's no getting around that. Like,
this
we got to stop
needs
the
to start
narrative.
Clicking,
he's not good.
Dude. This offense just needs to start clicking. Like Tyler said, dude, like we watched the all 22. The guys are open. They're schematically open. You have to make these throws. You have to make the right reads. It's just, it needs to click. I do think that Watson, I do think it's a lack of trust in the offensive tackles right now. He's getting rushed fast. He has to tuck and run. And a lot of that comes out of like the play action as well. Doesn't even have time to really drop back. I'm not saying like, I'm not making excuses for him. He knows he has to play better. He said it. I think the whole team knows the whole offense has to play better. The defense is right now, statistically, a top 5 defense. They can carry you, but you can't give up 14 points on the offense side of the ball to the other team. You just can't, man.
Exactly.
You just can't.
So Jeff says Watson looks better without Chubb. Then what do you think we're going to do going forward? You're going to see a shotgun offense. And when I mean a shotgun offense, I expect it to look like they're mainly going to operate out of the shotgun. You will rarely see the Browns, I believe, under center. And maybe I'm completely wrong, but now I think that's the route they're going. Even Stefanski was asked about this. How, like, with Nick Chubb out, does the offense change? And he said that's something they look at week to week. He didn't say yes. He didn't say no. Things are going to change. I really believe it. That's just honestly that's what I think on it. So what hasn't changed? Right now, you're getting inconsistency. That's what hasn't changed. Stefanski, I'm telling you, if you guys can get all 22, you will understand why we say Kevin Stefanski is not the problem. You will 100% understand because guys are open. It's not his fault that they're not executing the plays. Jed Wills, his blocking has been awful, and that's getting Watson absolutely killed. Brian says, "What's up, guys? New menu may be unveiled."
Oh God!
Oh my goodness.
I mean, look, man. That on that one play at the end of the game, where was the fumble, the sack fumble, scoop and score. I mean, Jed got beat with not even within a step. It was
he couldn't even snap the ball.
There was nothing there. The moment it happened, he was turned around. It was over. Like, I don't understand how. Like, what are they seeing in camp that they're confident in? Because his technique is bad, and I mean, we even saw it during training camp that he can't keep up with guys who are just more physical, who are just faster than him. His technique is terrible. Like, I just don't understand what it is. Is it a lack of effort? Is it a lack of ability? What is it? Yeah, it's so strange that we're in year 4 of Jed Wills. 4. Is this year 4 of Jed Wills?
This is 4. They picked up his 5th-year option. This is his 4th year.
Like, I don't understand how this is year 4 and I think he's regressed. I think he's gotten worse. Like, I mean, year 1 he seemed
We're not doing that, Patrick. I'm sorry.
But Bitonio has already said he will not play left tackle.
No, and I don't want Bitonio to play left tackle.
No, no. You don't, and also you wouldn't do that in the middle of a season.
You would have to prep that for the whole year.
No, exactly. All we need is O-line receiver Stefanski to form at 60%. Our defense and kicker will carry the rest. Let's see what happens on Sunday. Seriously. One thing about the Browns teams after a loss under Stefanski, they normally come back the next week and win. They really do. Seriously. They're pretty good after a loss. So,
I mean, I would hope so. When you're going up against a team that has the offensive capabilities that are similar to the Steelers, but they have a way worse defense. I would hope that.
So now we have to talk about something else that obviously we don't want to discuss. So Browns running back Nick Chubb suffered a horrific knee injury on Monday night. He, multiple ligaments injured, meniscus, basically the same injury he suffered at Georgia. So I ask you guys this. With Nick Chubb now going out, how do you guys see the offense changing or adjusting to him no longer being available? Because, again, this offense, even though Watson was still here, you could tell it still went through Nick Chubb. So how do you think, what changes do you see being made to the offense? And how do you even remotely try to, you're not going to replace it because you're never going to replace a player like that. But how do you cope with that loss of Nick Chubb?
I mean, I don't know how you cope with it because, I mean, you're losing a guy who averages 5 yards per carry for his career. He is I don't care if the C's not on his chest anymore. He is like the heart and soul. He's the captain of the team. He's the guy that everyone looks towards. You're never going to be able to replace his presence. His productivity, you might be able to attempt to replicate, but I think it's obvious that they're going to have to move more towards the passing offense. They're just going to have to utilize that a lot more because obviously, I think Jerome Ford, he looks like he's improved a lot. He's done a lot of good. He's shown a lot of promise, especially in the Pittsburgh game. He had that big, reverse field go up 69 yards or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like there is promise in the run game still. And I think that, we've seen a lot of this team without Nick, especially like in 2020 when he went out for like 6 or 8 weeks. I forget. And,
Yeah,
the run game was still capable of producing. And I think, Kareem is going to get used in the run game. He's going to get used in the pass game. Jerome's going to be used a lot in the run game. But you're just not going to be able to rely on getting 5 yards a carry over the course of the game like you can with Nick Chubb. You're going to have just a lot more reliance on the pass game because, you don't have a guy who can just bail you out like Nick does, all the time. So it's going to be a shift. It's going to be a change. I think Kevin's going to have to really, make some different concepts for, making a sort of security blanket for Deshaun in terms of like we're going to have more dump passes, more concepts where there's guys in the flat or something, because when you don't have a guy like that back there, it makes it way harder to scheme for a running back like Jerome Ford because guys don't respect him. They don't. The defense is going to be way different that he's going up against, so the offense also has to adjust. But yeah, I would assume more passing. Obviously, I don't think they're going to go all the way away from the run game, but I would be surprised if any running back goes above, 10 individual carries in a game, like 10 for Jerome, 10 for Kareem. Pierre probably gets a couple, but I don't think we're going to see like any sort of intense, like, oh, we're running it like 40 times a game or anything like that.
I don't know. I think you could still see Jerome Ford get around 14 to 15 carries, depending on this.
But how the game goes,
plan, the
game is going.
Yeah. I mean, he had 16 with Chubb week 1. I know a lot of them were just kind of like run down the clock, against the Bengals, but I don't know. I do think that, now with this running back group, like I said, Kareem is more of a playmaker out of the backfield, good pass protector, brings veteran leadership right back to, the running back room. And also, I think with this running back room, you get guys that are, okay, it's 2nd and 9, make it now more third and manageable. Well, now we can attack the air. So I think it could still help not put Deshaun in tougher spots where it's like, okay, now it's, 3rd and long. Instead, it's like 3rd and short. Okay, now we have some more creativity at the line of scrimmage and stuff like that. So I'm confident in this running back room. It all kind of falls on that offensive line, dude. I mean, they're not really playing up the standards, in my opinion, right now. And it's just like I keep saying, it just has to click, man. We're just not seeing it.
Yeah, it's definitely the biggest problem right now. And hopefully they start to click at some point. I mean, the good news is DeJuan Jones looked really good in his first NFL start. Played pretty well, given the circumstances, no doubt. Mm-hmm. But the last thing we do need to just talk about, just because, we ask a lot of tough questions on this show today. But one thing that's not a question before we go to and preview the Titans game, something that's not in question is that the Browns defense very well might be the best defense in the league.
Yeah.
What do you guys really like
Top
from
3.
this defense that you're seeing right now? And why is it so good and currently one of the best in the league? Does it have to do with, because some are saying it, now I'm not, but there are some like, the Browns played Pittsburgh. No wonder they got so many turnovers and whatnot against Kenny Pickett. So what do you guys really like about this defense?
They're just fast.
Yeah, I mean, they have swagger. They're making it hard for quarterbacks to make decisions. Jim Schwartz confuses quarterbacks, and he went into it and he goes, we need to just make Kenny Pickett confused all game. And he did exactly that. We made Joe Burrow confused week 1. Like, Jim Schwartz is just a genius on the defensive side of the ball. You have guys that are getting to the quarterback, a defensive line that is creating pressure instead of getting blown off of roller skates off the ball. You have cornerbacks that are shutting down. Martin Emerson still looks great. Grant Delpit is, if he can, dude, we might have found something. Something clicked in his head this season, man. He is looking amazing right now. Tyler, you said it might be the best in the league. I would say top 3. I think 49ers and Dallas are up there right now. I mean, dude, Dallas's defense looks great as well. Top 3 already through 2 weeks. Like I said, man, this defense, it's like kind of what Pittsburgh's motto has kind of been for the last few years. Their defense can win them games and keep them in games. And until this offense starts to kind of roll and click, I trust this defense every single possession now. I'm not holding my breath watching this defense like, oh, God, now the defense has to come back on the field and they can give up more points. No, I trust this defense to make a stop and get the ball back and get the offense another chance to put more points up on the board. So it's very fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, just how fast they are, and the way that, I mean, it's very clear that this is the defense that, we should have been running the entire time, is that we should have been, get everyone in man, let these guys beat these individual corners. I mean, the one time that they, kind of laid off and went into zone was George Pickens gets into the middle of the field with no one around him and gets a touchdown. And then the rest of the game, they basically said, nope, heavy zone or heavy man the entire time. It lets the guys get to the quarterback, get a pressure. I mean, they just swarm. I mean, there's so many of those short yardage situations. I mean, there was the 2-point conversion where they just absolutely stuffed Najee Harris. That I think it was a 4th and 1 play where they tried to do like a QB draw to the right side. I mean, they just snuffed it out instantly. I mean, this defense is just fast. Their communication is fantastic. It seems like they always know like what the play is, what they need to do, what their assignments are, and it's just such like what Zach was saying. I mean, the entire game, I'm not afraid of the offense of the Steelers right now, because I know that the defense is so much better than them that they're not going to be able to score points. And I mean, they generated -7 yards in the 4th quarter. So, I mean, it's very clear that this is the best iteration of this defense we've probably seen ever. I mean, it is elite, and it's top 3 at least.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, this defense is flying around, which they look like they're not thinking, and you can tell everything is just so simplified for them. And you just have guys like you said, Zach, but I mean, we've talked about before. There's just a swagger to this defense. They're having fun. They're getting after the quarterback. They're making plays, and every time they're stopping someone, they're celebrating. I absolutely love that, and that's how it should be. I know some people are old school. They don't like guys celebrating every single time and whatnot, but it brings a swagger to this defense, and you can see it on the field. And I think it's absolutely encouraging to see that. All right. We finally get to stop talking about this horrible game. All right. So now we're going to move on, and the Browns do, on a short week, take on the Tennessee Titans on Sunday at home. The Titans, they beat the Chargers. They lost to the Saints. They're 1-1, just like the Browns. One thing that they are not very good at is defending the pass. They also have an offense that, once again, it's run on Derrick Henry. If you can contain Derrick Henry, you will beat the Titans. And last time the Browns played the Titans, they contained Derrick Henry, and they absolutely beat the Titans pretty good. So in this game, guys, what is the thing that worries you most about a team like the Titans?
It's going to be like the versatility that they can have on offense. I mean, you have Derrick Henry, who obviously he's just a freak of nature. He's huge, and but I think that the D line is actually pretty adept at actually managing a back like Derrick Henry, because he's not going to like change directions super fast. He's a guy, once he picks up speed, he's like a straight line back. But it is going to be just the fact that they do have a guy like DeAndre Hopkins, who, I mean, it doesn't matter what corner you put on him. He can catch the ball anywhere. So it's just gonna basically be, you have to be able to contain one side of this and negate the other. Because like you get a guy like Derrick Henry and you negate his effectiveness, it makes it a lot easier on the corners, makes it a lot easier on the linebackers. So it's really just gonna kind of be, what you said, Tyler. You want to try to contain Derrick Henry as much as possible, because I feel like that's probably the biggest threat, because just he can go off at any moment.
Yeah, and I think on a week right now, the first 2 weeks, you're seeing, like I said earlier, you're seeing this defense confuse opposing quarterbacks. And I think Ryan Tannehill's a vet, but I think he can easily be manipulated into making bad decisions. So I think if you do that while also limiting Derrick Henry to, I mean, I think a good limitation is him only getting like 60 yards on the ground. I mean, he's a beast, man, So I just think if you kind of slow down their plan of attack, which is going to be run the ball down your throat, play action passes, stuff like that, you have a really good chance to win this football game, especially at home.
Yeah, and I expect Schwartz to go 5D lineman a lot of times. That's what worked when last time we played the Titans. I expect 4 linebackers on the field from time to time. They're gonna contain Henry, and they're gonna make Ryan Tannehill have to beat him in this game. That's the question, if Ryan Tannehill can do that. Does he have the ability against these corners? The Titans have Treylon Burks, DeAndre Hopkins. That's really, I mean, what they have for the most part. I mean, they do have
Okonkwo.
Yeah, I mean, they have him. They don't really use him enough, which is really dumb, because I think the dude's pretty athletic. But that's really what it's going to come down to. And I think the Browns defense, I'm not worried about the Browns defense in this game. I think they're going to have, once again, a really good performance. Now, Jeff said it. This is the issue. The Titans defensive line is led by Jeffrey Simmons, and they are very disruptive. I mean, you saw Jeffrey Simmons against the Chargers couldn't do anything wrong in that game. I mean, he was absolutely phenomenal. And now you guys saw the interior of that Browns offensive line get absolutely just embarrassed against the Steelers. See, that's the other problem. Like, we can talk about Watson, and of course he needs to improve all day long. Wyatt Teller, Ethan Posick got absolutely embarrassed on Monday night. Like, Wyatt Teller multiple times looked awful. If you can't contain Jeffrey Simmons, we're not going to do anything on offense on Sunday. And that is my biggest worry. How do you contain Jeffrey Simmons will determine how successful this offense is. He's a good player. He's a really good player. There's just no doubt in my mind.
I mean, dude, it just worries me, because it's so many question marks on that offensive line, and there shouldn't be. I mean, from in between the tackles, I mean, you hope you're fine with Teller, Bitonio, Pocic, but it's just those two. Like Dewan Jones is like, give him time. He's a rookie, and he's playing good in pass protection. I can't complain about Dewan Jones.
Yeah,
but they're gonna attack Jed Wills. They really are. So you have to just hope. And I mean, I'm scared, because like usually when they throw help to him, it's 88, and 88's getting.
I mean, we don't
thrown
talk
on
about
his
88.
ass every.
We don't talk
every
about
play.
88.
Dude, he shouldn't see a football field. That dude should be serving me. That dude should be serving me my meal at Taco Bell. That's really all he's good for at this point, man. Like,
and that's why
we
questioned him. We honestly questioned him making the 53-man roster when it came out, dude. We did. So they see something in him.
Yeah. They see something in quite a few guys that I just am like, I don't get it whatsoever. So what are the keys for the Browns winning this game on Sunday? You're back at home, first off. The Browns have played under Stefanski, played really well at home. The Titans are coming to town. You've played pretty well against them in the past. So what are the keys for the Browns to win this game on Sunday?
We need to get into a rhythm early. I think that Deshaun needs to complete some passes. They need to get Elijah Moore involved. I think that a lot of people thought that he should have been involved a lot more on Monday. I don't know whether it's they have to just target him, or they just have to maybe do some stuff in the backfield with him just to have him get the ball early, because I think that that's really going to be the thing, is that you need to get the ball out early. You need to get the ball into the hands of your receivers. And I think that we need to see a lot more of that. I think it'll help Deshaun just get him into a rhythm with the passing game. And it will help. It'll help the run game, because it'll make it so that they can't really bring a lot of guys. They can't bring a lot of guys to rush. They have to, maybe open up the run lanes a little bit more. It gives a little bit more leeway to your defensive linemen, which obviously they need all the help they can get. If we're looking at Jed Wills as an example, so I'd say just get the passing game started early. Get Elijah Moore involved early. Really set the tone that we are going to try to get Deshaun into a rhythm early, because I think it really is like he just needs to get some confidence back. And if you can do that at the beginning of the game and set the tempo, I think that that's probably the number one thing. Because I don't think I'm concerned about the defense at all. It's just the offense needs to get into a rhythm.
Zach, before you add something to that, sorry, I just wanted, because Jack talked about Elijah Moore and getting him more involved. So through 2 weeks, Amari Cooper has 17 targets, Elijah Moore has 16. But Elijah Moore only has 6 catches. So they are targeting him.
But I think some of those targets have been uncatchable. I think some of them were towards the sideline, or so I don't know if those are exact 1-to-1s, but yeah, but I think that they could be targeting him a lot more than that, and he could have a lot more catchable balls.
And then you have Amari Cooper, who literally catches anything you throw.
Yeah, he just catches everything. He just catches everything. So.
But I was just about to say, obviously for defensively, the key to victory is just keep doing what you're doing on defense, Jim Schwartz. Just keep it up, man. This defense is clicking. I have right now, I have no doubts in this defense. I hope Greg Newsome's all right. That was something that I really haven't. Did he practice today? I don't know. I didn't have a chance to really look.
Greg Newsome, Za'Darius Smith, and Amari Cooper did not practice, but Stefanski was asked and said they're all day-to-day.
Okay. But offensively, this is it. This is where you find it out, man. Starting this week, no more Nick Chubb, no more safety blanket on offense. This is why you find out why you traded for Deshaun Watson. Can he beat a team on his own? Can he lead like he did in Houston? And this is going to be the first week of a very telling season. I really think this is it right here. This is the game where I think you make little steps towards confidence in Deshaun and in the offense, and it all depends on how you plan around it now. This is going to be an air raid offense from start to finish. That's all I have, man. You can't even say run the ball right now. You just can't. You can't say run the ball, and with confidence, at least right now, with Jerome Ford and Kareem Hunt and Pierre Strong. Sucks, but it's the hand we're dealt, and this is why you went and you gave this much money to a quarterback that you thought, in terms of games, where you trust him to lead and win games. And let's see if it works out.
Yeah, so in this game, defense, keep doing what you're doing. That's really all that can be said. You just have to find a way to contain Derrick Henry. You're not going to stop him. You're never going to ever stop him. But you just contain him, and you will win that football game on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, I don't need Deshaun to be Superman. I need him to not turn the ball over.
Yes.
I need him to lead us to some solid drives, and I need points on those drives. If we get a couple field goals, we saw against Cincinnati, that can be enough. So, and I think it could be this week too. We just need to see him leading drives that are putting points on the board. We all want touchdowns. I get it. But you need points that'll give confidence for him. That'll give confidence to the offense. Do that. And just use the pass to set up the run. Use some quick game because they're going to be sending blitzers. You know it, at Jed Wills. They're going to test DeJuan Jones too because he's a rookie, and just use the pass to set up the run. If you can use the run game, incorporate it every now and then, I think that's going to end up being successful if Deshaun Watson is in a groove on Sunday. So, I think I'm pretty confident as far as the Browns playing pretty well on Sunday. They normally bounce back well. So, gentlemen, that brings us to this week's predictions. Browns and Titans in Cleveland. Browns are coming off a loss. Titans are coming off a win. Who wins this game and what's the score?
Well, it's really hard to predict because I thought that the Browns were not going to score a lot of points last week. And honestly, here's the thing: if they hadn't given up those 2 pick sixes, my score prediction would have been almost exact. So but it's also I don't know how much confidence I really have in the offense to continue to play like this, or whether or not this is just how they are. I'm assuming that this is not going to be the norm, that they are going to get better, that the passing game is going to get better. So I think that it's not going to be a super impressive win, but I think it's going to be a win that gets us back on track. So I'm going to say that the Browns are going to win this game 24-17 over the Titans.
Okay. All right, Zach.
You guys ready for this?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
All right. Here I am. All right. I think we had that bitter taste in our mouth after that Monday night game. I think we got a little piece of humble pie. All right. I think the team is rallied up now to play behind Nick Chubb. And I think this could be one of the first weeks where you see that confidence lit in the offense and the quarterback. And I think at home with that crowd, I think the crowd's still going to rally behind this team, man. They never give up. And Jack, you say the Titans score 17. I don't think this defense is going to give up 17 points at all. I don't. I think if that's the case, then you're going to something like Pittsburgh, and I don't think that's the case this week. I got the Browns winning 38-10. Ooh. I got the Browns going home.
Yeah, if the Browns put 38 points on the board on Sunday,
the Browns going home.
Dude.
Listen to me. I got the Browns going home and taking care of business, shutting up some doubters right now for a week at least, and just getting that taste out of their mouth from Pittsburgh. I really think that something's going to change. Something's going to click this week at least.
How many defensive touchdowns are we talking about here?
No.
Defensive
touchdowns?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant for the other team. I thought you meant for the Titans, dude.
No. I meant for us.
No, maybe. I would love to see that. Juan Thornhill,
so you're okay. Dude, if the Browns put up 38 points on the board, that's gonna be a fun
I would love to see the discussion.
I think the Titans secondary is very weak, and this is the big week that you can put some confidence in the passing game.
I think this is a get right week. I think for that this is the week to get right for the offense, for the passing game. If it's any week, it's got to be this week.
Agreed. Okay.
I'm calling a blowout.
All right.
I am. I'm calling a blowout, guys.
I got the Browns. Let's see. I got the Browns 24, and I got the Titans 10. I don't think the Titans are putting up a lot of points in this game.
See? Thank you. At least we're on the same page there.
At the same time, if they scored more than a touchdown, it really wouldn't surprise me. Just because, that George Pickens touchdown was a fluke too. I really believe, and it was just a busted coverage. I think something like that could happen.
And honestly, guys, that can happen. You know what? With a defense this good, they can allow that once a game, and it's gonna happen. It's the NFL, dude. So
yeah.
Well, the thing is, the defense is good enough that your margin for error is very, very high. It took a pick six on the first play of the game and a strip sack fumble recovery for touchdown for the Browns to lose by 4 points. It's a very wide margin for error. So as long as you don't make too many critical mistakes, the defense can win you the game. They just can. That's just how it is.
Yeah, I saw that, Jeff.
Listen, I'll be real. Why do we care? Honestly, though, for real,
I mean, we all cared about Baker too. It's the same story in Cleveland, dude. Whatever. I don't care.
I don't either. Let him. block me. I don't care. Like,
Guys, it's X/Twitter, whatever. It's a brain rot app, anyways. No one should be on it. So like, who cares what he does on it? My gosh.
all right, guys. Last week I was terrible. In my picks, there's no doubt. So here's
Me
something
too.
we do have
Me
to
too.
talk about real quick. Because we've done this now. This is our second year doing these picks, and I don't know if we ever just said this beforehand because I don't remember if we did. So let's say we change a prediction, like when we do our pregame, change a prediction from what we say on the show. Is it the change prediction or
Yes.
or is it what?
It's the change
Okay,
prediction.
perfect.
It's your
Okay.
final prediction. How about that? Your final.
And
prediction.
that's what I made sure I chalked it up as. So just wanted to be sure. All right.
Tyler, go with your gut from now on, buddy. How about that?
I probably shouldn't. And not, yeah. I am 3-4 right now.
You missed the game?
You missed the game?
What am I looking at? Oh,
Has to
dude,
add up
jeez.
to 8, man.
Yeah, dude, jeez. No, I'm 3-5. My bad.
All right.
I'm 4-4. I went
Me too.
2-2
4
again.
and 4. Guys,
We
we're
all
doing bad
suck.
right now.
We're
We all
doing
suck.
really bad.
Gosh, dude. All right, Jack, you're up first.
Okay,
What do you
hold on.
like?
Let me go ahead. Let me pull up the games really quick. You guys do that because I forgot to pull up the games.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Zach, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I might have to take in my opinion. Ooh, this is a good week of football. Holy crap!
Yeah. It's and college too.
Yeah, Buckeyes over Notre Dame. That's my pick. No, I'm gonna go Vikings over the Chargers. I don't believe in Brandon Staley.
I like it. Yeah, I don't think
Okay.
anyone can really support Brendan Staley. He's just
Well, you're welcome, Chargers fans.
All right, Jack, what do you like?
I gave him the benefit of the doubt last week, and clearly I just shouldn't be doing that because I think the Bungles are gonna lose to the Rams on Monday Night Football
Ooh, at
I
home.
like that.
at home.
I'm about taking that.
At home. Because look, I thought they were going to beat the Ravens, and
Oh, Joe Burrow might be out too. Joe
Burrow might be out. Like, I don't know, man. Aaron, I have no confidence in the Bengals, dude. I think they go 0-3 to start.
All right, so my first one, I'm so sick of everyone acting like the Falcons because they're 2-0 are good. Give me the Lions. Give me the Lions in Detroit.
I don't know.
Easy.
Hey, man, I like both those teams.
Falcons. Okay. I could spend a show talking about the Falcons, so I'm not even gonna ramble on and on about that. All right, Zach. Back up.
Raiders over the Steelers Sunday Night Football.
The fact that Sunday night is just awful.
That's gonna be such a fun offensive battle. How many 3-and-outs can we get in a row?
We need
Actually-
the AFC North to lose this week.
Yeah, that's true.
Dude, no, I can't do it because I've already lost too many. I thought about taking quite a chance, but I can't do it.
Colts
I got
over Ravens.
I'm still shaking.
No, bro. I was gonna take Washington over Buffalo.
I
I can't do it. I can't bring myself to actually have the stones to do it though. You know what? I'm siding with the in-laws here. I'm gonna go with Green Bay over New Orleans at Lambeau Field.
Okay.
I like the Saints this year, man.
Well, I like Chris Olave, so yeah, kind of the same.
I like Derek
I just
Carr.
think Green Bay Saints are not good on the road. They've never been a great road team.
Yeah, I mean they just have such huge home field advantage at Mercedes-Benz. This might seem like a really oh wow, you're just going for the free win kind of thing, but it is. I'm gonna go for the Cowboys beating the Cardinals.
Poor Josh Dobbs.
Poor Josh Dobbs, dude.
Now I hope the Cardinals win.
I mean, dude, Micah Parsons is just something else, man.
Really is. All
All
right,
right.
Zach, you got one more.
I got the other Monday night game since Jack took the Bungles game. I think Baker Mayfield catches his first L. Yeah, I think he kind of gets humbled this week. I got Eagles over Buccaneers.
Bro, no.
Uh,
How could you do
Okay.
this?
Okay. All right. I don't like ever picking the same game. Like I just don't like doing that.
Do it. Who cares?
No, I know, but I'm trying to see which one I want to do because there's two of those the same that I'm considering. You know what? I'm with Jack. I'm gonna go with the Chargers over the Bengals.
The Rams over the Bengals.
The Rams. Gosh,
One of those LA teams with the yellow
with the
thing as
AI
logo.
fans
Yeah.
Oh man, no, yeah, for real. That's just kind of where I'm at right now with that. Anyway, those are our weekly picks. We'll see how we do.
I need one more. My bad.
My bad.
I only
forgot
have
the order we were in.
Yeah, because I went last. Okay, but Zach, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you chose the Eagles over the Bucks because you know what? I like head-to-heads. I'm taking the Bucks over the Eagles, baby. I'm
fighting Mayfield.
The Bucks. That's right. I'm riding with 6 all the way.
Oh my God, we're back. We're back.
We are back.
Literally.
Is this the Feeling Dangerous podcast?
Dude.
What's going on?
No. Oh no. Oh my goodness. The good old days. Anyways, those are our weekly picks. We're gonna see if we can actually improve our records because I have a losing record and Zach and Jack are at 500, so we're doing pretty terrible. But anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in this episode of the Faithful Dogs podcast. Again, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're brand new, Network 216. Also, be sure join the show. You can join us on Lockerverse. The link is in the description for you guys in order to do that. Also, just put it back in here again. Just click it. It's free to download. And don't miss QB Unplugged with Deshaun Watson and Quincy Avery every week on Lockerverse. Want to make sure you guys don't miss the latest from QB1 on that.
Don't miss our pregame shows.
Also, correct. Also, I was going to get...
Sorry.
Zach's so quick. Anyway, you also can watch the Network 216 pregame shows on Lockerverse as well. The next one is going to be at 11 a.m. on Sunday, your Browns and Titans pregame show. But before we go, Jack,
I thought you were going to forget.
Why would I forget something that is so well done by you? When it comes to homage, Jack, the Browns let us down from time to time, but why does homage never let you down?
You want to know why homage never lets you down? Because I went on homage and I'm just checking out their designs, and there's like 8 elf shirts and hoodies. And listen, it doesn't matter how the Browns do on a week-to-week basis. You got to rock the elf. You got to respect the elf. And if you want to do it in great merch that feels good, looks good, and to be honest, it's perfect for any weather condition, especially if you live in Ohio, which I'm assuming most of us do. If you don't live in Ohio, what the heck are you doing on this podcast? But you feel it in the air. It's getting cold outside. You're going to start to need to update your entire wardrobe. I mean, we're all wearing t-shirts right now, but in the next couple of weeks, probably going to be wearing long sleeve tees, going to be wearing hoodies, going to be wearing sweatshirts. And the best place to go and still be able to support your local teams or just, your city or want to rep where you're from, Homage is the best place to do it because they've got awesome designs, whether it's your favorite sports teams or just local stuff that you support or enjoy. It's got basically designs for all of that stuff in great designs, great colors. And again, it's just really high quality stuff. Obviously, we're all wearing our brown stuff because, we are victims. And these guys are obviously rocking their Nick Chubb stuff. Got to win for Nick here. And I mean, if you want to support Nick, you want to support your Cleveland teams, I think that Homage is probably the best place to go. You get the best quality stuff, really awesome designs. You can get them in any, variation of a long sleeve hoodie, sweatshirt, t-shirt. So they're good for all weather conditions. And again, it's getting cold. You're going to want to update your wardrobe. Got to get ready for the Cavs. Got to get ready for more Browns. So just head over to Homage. Check out the link that's on our Twitter account. I don't know if you guys have posted it in the chat yet or not. Check out the link. And if you see anything you like, you got to grab it now, because if you don't grab it now, sometimes the stuff rotates out and you don't see it again. Do they still have the starter jackets? I think they might have rotated those out.
They might be out now, but they did have them.
If you see something you like, you got to make sure you grab it, because it might be gone, and maybe they bring it back, maybe not. But it's such cool stuff that I think that you guys really got to check it out. You got to, check out Homage, and I'm sure that there's stuff that you probably wouldn't have even thought that they'd make, but it's awesome. Like I have a bunch of designs for shirts that I've never seen in any other shop. So you got to check out Homage. Buy 10 shirts, because honestly, you probably will wear all of them.
Every color of the starter jackets in every size is still available. Not saying how much.
Oh, perfect.
But in some capacity.
Awesome. No,
awesome. I couldn't find them, but that's great. Okay.
As a reminder, be sure to tune into the Petty Eddie podcast here on Network 216, special edition here at 9 o'clock. Well, right after we're off. But then we have the Dog Chug as well at 10 o'clock. So a full evening of content for you. Make sure you check it all out. Again, thank you guys for tuning into this Network 216 production of the Faithful Dogs podcast. Can't wait to talk to you guys all again next week. And as always, win for Nick and go Browns, baby.
Win for Nick. Like, comment, and sub.